morning. Welcome to the 19 series. I just got done with the boxing class and I don't know why, but this one was so much harder than the other ones. When I got home, I laid here for like 20 minutes. I mostly only just lay here because of the amount of sun that comes into my apartment at this time of day. It's infectious and I could just lay here all day long. The sun charges, like it like, you know, like how solar panels need the sun to like gain energy? I feel like that's how I am. I just love it. Are you kidding me? I know it's outside, but I cannot open this door now. That is so sad. I mean, I could kill him, but I'm not a cold-blooded murderer. I'm actually just too scared to. Looks like I have another thing to add to the list for my boyfriend to do when he comes to visit. First on the list is he needs to help me get a new TV. Second, he needs to help me set up the soundbar to my TV. Third, actually he fixed the third. My kickstand on my bike was like dragging and he fixed it. Another thing my boyfriend has helped me with I'm making ground beef eggs for breakfast. I totally forgot that was a thing until I saw him make it. Wow, am I just like obsessed with him or something? So we're using ground beef. I had chocolate chip cookies for dinner last night, so I'm kind of hungry. But also I woke up and my stomach was hurting. Probably because I had cookies for dinner, but I was having like, you know that feeling when you get like anxious in your stomach? I was having that all morning, so I didn't want to eat right away. It's still kind of there, but I feel like eating might help it because sometimes it just makes it worse, but sometimes it calms it. So I guess we'll just see what I'm feeling today. I feel like I got a lot better at cooking because I like kind of accepted the fact that it's a lifelong skill, and I used to like dread it so much because it was just like, it was so hard for me to get like into it. And honestly, I'm still trying to get used to like cooking my own meals. Like it's literally not that hard to cook, but for some reason the past me was like so distraught anytime I had to eat. So I would just like DoorDash all the time, which is not good. Or the amount of times I've had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for dinner is not okay. But I feel like just like learning that patience that it takes and that like forgiveness you need to give yourself for not always cooking great meals was just like what I needed to learn in order to like continue doing it, because it's not that hard. I was just being dramatic. But like cooking is low-key fun. Even if it's not always the best meal, playing jazz music and just like pouring sauces into a pan is like kind of fun. And I'm getting better at it. Progress is progress no matter how little. We're gonna make a quick little matcha before I'm meeting. I just heated up my water. I've been using this matcha. It's from your mom, Ashley, and it's actually really good. I personally really like it. I also just love her YouTube videos. Anytime I have a matcha after 2 p.m., I can't go to sleep at night. Like the caffeine just lasts so long. But if I have it before like 1 p.m., then I'm chilling. Like I get the afternoon crash right when I'm about to go to bed, and it's like the most perfect timing. Also adding honey. Yeah, okay. Let's go be working, girls. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, yo, what's up, Avia?
What's up? I feel like a little busy girl today. I had 2 Zoom meetings. I did take a break in between. I've literally been reading my book non-stop. I mean, I had stopped to like go on my Zooms, but I am literally this far into it. I like had a Zoom meeting, got off, read, ate some grapes, got back on another Zoom meeting, and now I'm about to go read again. This is the point of the vlog where I'm gonna intersect a little section where I talk about the book. So if you want to skip ahead to not get any spoilers, the time will be on the screen. You guys know the drill. But for the girls and the guys staying to know what I think about this, this is my favorite book. This is my favorite book. Actually, you're gonna giggle at me because I pulled this book out today. I finished reading it like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and I just like went through some parts and had to reread some parts to like really mentally wrap myself around the whole story. Like the part where Tamlin shields her inside of her home and she like is in her little black cocoon and Moore comes in the house and picks her up and takes her to the Court of Nightmares. I reread that and like it made me so happy because back then, reading it in my past perspective, I was so freaking mad that Tamlin was acting that way, but I was also mad that she left the spring court and didn't want to go back because she felt like she was trapped there. I was just mad at the whole situation because I wanted Tamlin to be just perfect, but he was going through his own shit, which I get. So I went back and reread that. Also just the parts where like Rise and Feyre were like low-key flirting but not really doing anything about it. I loved reading those because you could like feel the tension, and knowing that they like eventually fall in love just made it even better. And for this book, I am loving Feyre's powerful era. I love that she can winnow. I love that she has so much power in her, and that she's the lady of the night court is so iconic because she's the only one, and they're like changing traditions up. I love Sarah Moss for including that because why is just one man ruling over every single court? Like they should should have an equal. They should have a high lady, not just one high lord. So I love that they're breaking the rules. I love that Feyre's a bad bee, high lady of the night court. I just love her and Rise together, and I love their family. Like Mor, Cassian, Israel, Nesta, and Elaine. Wow, I've never said all those names out loud before. Seeing them all together, like eating dinner, just interacting or messing with each other just makes me so happy. Like I hope that that alliance stays forever. I feel like it will, but I also love the fact that Rise is so open with Feyre. Like he's like, you make your own choices. He's like the opposite of Tamlin in that way. He's like, you make your own choices, you can do whatever you want, but just know, like, please let me know before you do anything crazy because I want to keep you safe, obviously, and I love you. But also he doesn't tie her down. Like she's included in all the meetings, all the fights, all the wars, all the battles. Like I love it. And I love Cassian and Nesta. Like the tension between them, I cannot wait to see that play out. And I'm praying that Mor finally confesses her love to Azriel, or however that's gonna play out. Because there's also a little bit of tension between Azriel and Elaine, like a little bit, because he like worried about her. I feel like it's more in a friend way, like a family friend way, but also maybe there's something there because they also said earlier on in the book that a mating bond doesn't have to stay. Like you can refuse it even though it's very unlikely. But maybe she will fall in love with Lucien, I don't know. Lucian, somebody commented and said you actually pronounce his name Rhysand, I think. And that made me sad because I've been mispronouncing it wrong in my head this entire time. And even if I am wrong, I'm not gonna change it for me because I've read all 3 books saying Rhysand in my head and having Feyre call him Rhysand, so I'm not changing it now. I'm sorry, but I can't change it now. Like I'm too far deep. I'm too deep into the books. This one's definitely my favorite one. I really liked the first one too though. But like this version of me that know what happens doesn't like the first one, but reading the first one for the first time was just such a good experience because I already loved the series. I was reading it on vacation with my family. I was like at the pool every day sipping a pina colada, reading this book, in love with it. But also if that version of me knew what happened in the future, she would be pissed. She would be livid. She would have freaking fire coming out of her ears because I did not like Rise in the first book. I mean, for a good reason, he was a biatch. But now I'm like obsessed with them. Wow, that was a long, I have been needing to get that off my chest if you can't tell, because having this entire storyline just unfold in my head and not being able to discuss it with anyone is driving me crazy. Because I try to discuss it with my boyfriend. I'm like, Ian, guess what? Feyre just blah, blah, blah. Oh my gosh, Rise just did this. Oh my gosh, this just happened. He's like, that's great, Avia. He has no idea what the hell is going on. He knows that I just like to talk and speak and he's such a good listener, so he just listens because he's such a good king. He's my high lord. And so thank you to whoever suggested I have a little portion of my vlogs to do this because now I feel so much better. Anyways, I'm loving it and we're gonna read some more until I have to make some dinner. Do you guys remember when I told you that I'm getting better at cooking? I did make a PB&J sandwich for lunch. Wow, I just switched up on you guys like that. But also I'm gonna make salmon for dinner, I think. The matcha is starting to hit me, so it's like I have like so much anxiety, not anxiety. I just like want to run my mouth and talk forever. Me and my sister Emmy have been trying to convince my parents to have her visit me. She was texting me, Snapchatting me, like giving me all the deets, like they said I could, but like da 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 da. And I was like, Emmy, let me do the talking. I text my mom and dad. I'm like, hey, I found these cheap flights for her. Yeah, I'll pay for her meals if you want. Like, love you, please let her come visit me. And they eventually were like talking and they're like, okay, she can come. And I was like, thank you. Me and Emmy were like Snapchatting, giggling, kicking her feet, but she might have dance choreography. So I'm praying that her teachers like let her come or she can find a way around that schedule, because this is the last time that we can hang out before school starts. Like school starts next month and she will have no other free week because of dance. So we have to make this work. And if she came like next week, we could just technically call it a work trip. Because she just started posting YouTube videos on her channel and I post twice a week on my channel. So we would just film each other and like film different perspectives of our day and then post that content. And then I'm sure we'll film like a mukbang or like a podcast type video, all the things, because we have so much fun doing that. We're always talking anyways when we're together, but I feel like doing that on camera is also extremely fun and exciting. I don't know about you guys, but when I am filming with Emmy, I am like the best version of myself. And I think it goes vice versa. Like when we're together, it's so cool. I'm like, okay, but then when I'm with my sister, I'm like so cool. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm not cool, but me and hers like energy is like so infectious that we just have so much fun and everyone around us is like, what the hell is going on? Why are these two giggling over the stupidest things? I don't care. All that matters is I love it and I think she does too. So everyone cross your fingers that she visits next week. We are the luckiest girls in the world and the universe works in our favor to make our dreams come true. So I think it will happen. And if it doesn't, we will figure something out. I feel like I was just yelling for 20 minutes. I'm sorry for that rant. Sorry, not sorry actually. Unapologetically myself. I finished my book. I don't want to talk about it or else I'll start crying, so don't bring it up. But I'm truly just trying to move on with my life and trying not to let the book affect me, and it's really frustrating. I had a live this morning and I started talking about the book and then I just started talking about all like the deep parts of life. And I don't know how, but I started talking about the fact that like time, like the matter of time isn't even real. Like imagine we just woke up every day and we just like went about our day and then like we went to bed when the sun set. Like what if we didn't have like 10 a.m. or like 11 a.m. and it's technically all man-made. The fact that in the olden days they probably had to like plan out hangouts with their friends by being like, when the sun is night high in the sky at 33 degrees and you come over to my place. Like when did they invent that? And it doesn't make sense to me. Anyways, yesterday there was an earthquake. I just realized I forgot to tell you guys that. When I was reading my book, I like felt something like kind of move, like it just fell off. And I looked around and the things around me started shaking. My water bottle started shaking, the lamp next to me started shaking. And while everything around me was moving, I could feel the building like swaying back and forth. Like all the miscellaneous things were like shaking like this and like rattling and I could hear it. And it was like, like the noise they make in the movies when it's like war is coming. But I could feel the building like swaying like this. It was so weird. And I was scared for a minute. Like I was just like on my guard. But then it like slowed down and I was like, that was so cool. I've literally been thinking about how I've been wanting to experience an earthquake ever since I moved here and it hasn't happened yet and I finally experienced one. The last earthquake I was in that I remember, it was when me and my family lived in Los Angeles. We had just got back home from like a freaking 13-hour drive because we were in Idaho for Christmas and then we drove back to LA. So it was like 2 in the morning at this point and me and my sister shared a room in our apartment. My parents like said goodnight. We were both in our bunk bed with the closet light turned on because we were little babies and we were scared of monsters. Our room was always so messy. We never cleaned that girl, and when we did clean her it only lasted like a day, so our room was like messy, like there was toys everywhere. And so I remember seeing the doorknob of my door and I just saw the door like shaking uncontrollably, like just going crazy. And I was like, as a kid you assume the worst. At first I was like, maybe my parents are trying to get into the room but there's something in the way because our room was always messy. Like I think there was a box next to the door where I was like, that's in the way, or just toys or something and they were trying to open the door. And then after it went by it was like utter silence. Complete silence. And I remember thinking, there's a monster. There's a monster or something. Because if my dad was trying to open the door and it wasn't opening, he would have been like, hey, like, can you all come open the door? Like, there wouldn't be silence. And I remember Emmy, like, I don't know exactly what she said, but she was like, I think she like made like a scared like sound, like, ah. And I was like, it's okay, I'm gonna just go to sleep. I literally said that because I was scared too. I was like, just go to sleep. For some reason as a kid, if you just like throw the blankets over you, it feels like a form of safety. And so I just yelled at my sister to do that and we just did that. And then eventually my parents walked in the room and they're like, oh, did you feel that earthquake? And me and Emmy like jumped up and down for joy. We're like, that's what that was! Because we thought there was a monster trying to kidnap us. But don't worry, we lived to see another day. So that's my earthquake trauma experience. I'm now happy to say earthquakes aren't that scary for me anymore. It's also weird how you don't know when it's gonna come. Like that's kind of what freaks me out, because I think that you can estimate when a tsunami is gonna come or like a hurricane or just any of the natural disasters like that, but an earthquake, it could come whenever it wanted. Like it could happen right now. Would that be so iconic if it happened right when I said that? Just that like little bit of information is a little bit scary because it's so mysterious and like you never know. But that's what makes it fun too, I think. Except the San Andreas fault line, like that movie, yeah, that one traumatized me. Like I remember watching that in Idaho and being like, I'm never going back to LA again. Babe, now you live here. But they made it out alive, so I think I would if that happened. My muscles aren't as big as the rocks, but okay, now I'm just ranting. Just got done with some laundry. I think I'm gonna go to a cafe and get a matcha before my scene partners come to my apartment to help rehearse lines with me. I don't have any milk left, so dang it. Looks like I have to go to a cafe to get some matcha. Hey guys, my friends are coming over for rehearsal. My apartment building has like a conference room that you can go in. So I booked it out so that we could have like, I'm sorry, I'm like scared they're gonna walk in because the concierge is bringing them up here. But if they walk in while I'm talking to a camera, they might glare at me. Actually, I don't care. I don't care what anyone else thinks about me. But I brought some snacks. I wanna give you guys a haul. First, I brought popcorn. This stuff is so good. And I'm a chocolate lover, so hopefully they are too. And then I feel like those things are very satiating, so we need something sweet that's like a little bit more refreshing. So I got some mandarins. But I'm excited. I'm like, feeling all the vibes. Rehearsals went good. They went so good that now I want to go see a movie. Just acting out scenes made me want to see a movie. So I'm literally hyped. You guys know it's my favorite activity to do. I tried driving with my hood on, but I couldn't see. I couldn't be cool and mysterious because I needed to be able to see.
People are nice.
I mean, you'd have to drop a silo of it to funnel for any real effect.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to use different reagents. We can't.